Good afternoon, my little pomfrets. How are you doing? It's wee Paddy here from across the shuck. Now, ta-da! My newest acquisition. I just got this in this morning. I just thought I'd give you a quick look at it. It's not a review. I'm just going to have a look at it and show you some of my fancy knives where this is going to go in the collection. It's another beautiful G.E.C. number 77 antique yellow saw cut bone Barlow. It is just gorgeous. It comes in the usual tube. Nothing too fancy. I think they should do more fancy ones when they're doing the Northfield ones. There's just a wee thing. I got the lovely pin in this one. You don't always get pins, but it's really nice when you do. There we go. Uncle Sam's hat's on there. Yankee Barlow. Northfield Yankee Barlow. I love it. Love it. And that's the tube with the description of the knife. And for those of you who don't know, and I know I get subs all the time who are maybe new to the slip joints, the number 77 is the batch that it's been made. It'll tell you what the knife is. The number 2 is for the blade shape. The number 1 is for that's one blade. And the 22 is the year it was made. And then your antique yellow saw cut bone. I'm not sure if it was in focus or in camera, but you'll know what it is anyway. So here it is. And let's just take that out of the way. Look at this beauty. Yankee Barlow and Uncle Sam's hats there. The beautiful Northfield on the Barlow, both sides. And look, this to me is this is beautiful. I love a big Barlow. I love the fluting. I love the fact that when the stamping of this Northfield on there is beautiful. I love a Barlow with a good clear stamp on it, and this is it. And it's a lovely. This will wear off as I use it over the years. Will this be a hard use knife? No, but I'll use it still. I'll put it in my pocket, but I won't be doing anything strenuous, or not strenuous, but I won't be doing anything that's going to damage it because I love it. I'm not trying to keep it as a safe queen. I suppose that's what I'm trying to say. I'll carry it and use it. I'll probably have another knife in my pocket with it, that if it's a dirty job, the other knife will come out because this one won't. So there we go. I have to keep it clean because it's just beautiful. So, what size is it? It's that size. It's a full fit in my hand. The number 77 is a good size of a Barlow. Do you want to know what it really is? Right, let's go. Here we go. Right, the blade length. The cutting edge is about 2 3/4. So it's a good cutting edge in this knife. The whole knife is about 6 and... well, just about 6.5, maybe a little bit over, but a lovely length of a Barlow. Really is beautiful. It's a real working knife. And with that spear point, isn't it just beautiful? I love their swedging, and they got the lovely long pull. Not a match strike, I just love a plain long pull. That is beautiful. And of course they do the swedge in the other side, which I'm really in favour of. It really finishes the knife off in my eyes. That beautiful polish on the blade. And I think you can see that. Let me see. There you go. Yankee Barlow. Beautiful. And the tang stamp. And on the other side, it gives you the make and model of the knife that you've got. But this is in yellow. I've never had this. It says yellow saw cut. It's a very, very fine saw cut. I think he forgot to lean in. But nonetheless, it is stunning. I love the way that made to look older look that they put on it when they sand down here. It's just gorgeous. It really fits in the hand. I could do work all day long with this. It is an absolute stunner. A stunner from G.E.C. Fit and finish. You're seeing it with me, and do you want to know? As usual, I can't find a little gap at all on it. Let me see. Look, it is just perfect. Again, let me get my hand behind there. It's trying to focus on the back. Look at that. Perfect fit and finish. Lovely and clean. The termination is absolutely lovely. What's the blade centering like? Well, wouldn't you know it? Right up the hey diddle diddle. That's why you pay money for a G.E.C. knife. Because of the love and the honest workmanship that goes in. These are made by hand in a factory that's machinery. A lot of the machinery is over 100-year-old. And you can't replicate that. I mean, you can use your modern machinery to get precision tools, That's fine. That's great. That's what it's for. But these are handmade pocket knives done the old way. The lovely spun pins through there. I mean, it's just, I just love everything about it. Are they all flush? No, but they never are with G.E.C. There'll always be one maybe sits up a little bit, but that's, you're never going to feel it. Don't worry about things like that. These are handmade knives done on old machines that can't be as precise as the new modern knives. And as the new modern knives should be, but this is not. It's a handmade knife that just brings me so much pleasure. I love this knife. And let me give you a wee look at some of the other ones that I've got in my collection that give me that same sort of pleasure. Here's the last one I got, which is the two acorn Barlow. Another beautiful model of a knife, and this was the number 86. Again, let me just show you the size. This is a real solid, this is look at the difference in the depth of the blades. This is a real solid work knife. Now, there's not that much difference in size, maybe a quarter of an inch at the most, but it's just, it's the same. This is the real working knife. This is in 440C. This is in 1095. How could you not love them two knives? This is what I would hard use with. Quite happily. Will I? Probably not. They're too dear. But it is a lovely knife. So I'll put this one over here out of the way, and we will show you another one of my favourite knives, which is the TC Barlow, the Tom's Choice Barlow. And you can see in it, it's about the same difference, quarter of an inch at the most, shorter than this. But look, it's got that same spear point, but you can see, it's just lovely. This had an etching on the blade. It doesn't anymore. I used this and then cleaned it all up again, which is what I'll do with them other two. These blade etches, after a few years, they'll be gone, but that doesn't matter. Do you know, there's a little story about the blade etches. These were actually put on the knives, and maybe you all know this, and I'm just teaching you to suck eggs, but the old companies and the old knives, they used to resell knives in their shops or wherever they sold them, in a bar, whatever, wherever you bought the knives, in the hardware store. But the companies that were making the more expensive knives started to put the etching on so that they couldn't be resold as new if somebody had bought one and just brought it back in, because there would be damage on the blade. This would be taken off, so people would know they were buying a new one because the etching was perfect. And that's what it was there for in the first place. Everything usually has a reason. So there's another beautiful little knife there. Here's a UK model, which I like because it's got that bolster. It's a drop-down bolster as well, but it has that beautiful clear stamping, which makes if you muck the stamping up, you don't come back from that. You just don't come back from it. But a lovely Barlow, and again, one of my favourites, it's just about the same size as that. There wouldn't be much in it, an eighth maybe of anything, but a lovely, lovely knife to have in my collection. And here's one of my favourite knives, which is a Barlow, which was made for me by Ashley Harrison. This is beautiful. Now, his stamping is on the tang. He doesn't put it on the bolster. I think that stamping on the tang is beautiful because it's clear. You can see who it is. But there you go. It's about the same size as this. This is a real workhorse for me. I just love this. This is no one tool steel, 1095. This just gives you a bit more longevity of the blade edge if you're ever going to blunt it. But a gorgeous knife. I just love this. Is the one I love. My true love. There's a song about that, I'm sure, but I'm not going to sing it. So, what else have I got here to show you? Here we go. Let's put it up against a modern knife. And here's a hinderer slip joint. There you go. There's the hinderer. A little bit bigger, but look at the blade. The blade is not that much bigger. I can do as much with this as I can with this. Truthfully, in my everyday life, I'm not on a building site or anything. On any everyday life, this will do me every bit as good as this. Two great blades. This is thinner behind the edge to cut my lunch up, to cut a sandwich up, to cut some cheese. This I would use before I would use this. But this is I have a hard use. If I want to use something hard, I'll use this and not this. Or something even cheaper than this, because this is just a gorgeous knife. But knives can be expensive. Once you get into that collecting side, they are expensive. and rightly so. People, it takes all sorts to make a knife hobbyist, and I just don't tend to stick to the one brand, as you know. At earring, there we go. There's a Spyderco. There's a Para 3. This is the knife that I do grab for anything that's difficult. This Para 3 is fantastic. I love this knife. This is a special bento box in M390. But if you look at the cutting edge, again, it's no bigger than this knife. It's no slicier than this knife. This will do. But having the choice of both is what makes knife collecting fantastic. You just get to have a go and see all sorts of knives and use all sorts of knives. So there you go, a bit of a waffle. Now, I carry this in a slip because I do have a habit of putting junk in my pockets and I don't want to damage it more than it needs to be. So I always use a slip when I'm carrying my higher end knives rather than, my Rough Riders now I can just throw them in my pocket. But this is not a Rough Rider. This is a Northfield from G.E.C. And I got this from Mike's Knives down in Cornwall. He's the registered G.E.C dealer. I keep telling you, get down to his shop and to get on the list for the newest G.E.Cs, find out when they're coming, send him an email. That's the only way he's taking orders now. Send him an email. I did for this, and I was so lucky to get it. I found out these were coming out quite early, so I was able to get in very early, and I really do appreciate I got that one as well. I don't get them all the time, but I'm in as early as I can, and if you're not in, you can't win. And don't sit and complain you can't get them, because you can. That's you told off Paddy style. So there you go. That is a beautiful knife. I'll do a review on it when I've used it, carried it, played with it for a while, and I'll come back and let you know what I think of it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Saturday and the weekend. I hope the weather's good for you wherever you are. And my prayers and thoughts go out to those in Ukraine and those that are helping those in Ukraine. There's a great outpouring from Europe of helping these people get somewhere to go to if they're homeless. I think that's just marvellous. So there you go. May God take care of them and look after them. Now, that's me. I'm away. Thank you so much indeed. I'm a happy Paddy for a Saturday. Another G.E.C to the collection. Take care. I'm away. Bye-bye now.